Well, every time you tap your card at a supermarket, transfer money through your banking account or app, or make an online payment, a silent battle takes place in the background. It's a race between banks trying to stop fraud and cyber criminals trying to stay one step ahead. And yes, most of us never see the battle. We simply expect our banks to detect suspicious transactions, block the fake payment, and keep our money safe. But now, one of the biggest names in global payment is making a move that could completely reshape that invisible security network. Ladies and gentlemen, Visa has announced a massive $2.4 billion deal to acquire fraud detection company BioCatch. At first glance, it may look like just another corporate acquisition. But experts believe that this deal it could have far-reaching consequences for banks, payment companies, and millions of customers around the globe. But here's the reason. BioCatch is one of the world's leading fraud detection companies. Instead of only checking passwords or OTPs, its technology studies people naturally use their devices. It looks at behavioral pattern. How somebody types, how they move a mouse, how they hold a smartphone or interact with a banking app. If something suddenly feels unusual, the system can flag a transaction as potentially fraudulent before money disappears from the account. Today, some of America's biggest banks already rely on this particular technology. That means Visa is not simply buying another software company. It's acquiring a platform that already sits deep inside the fraud prevention system of major financial institutions. And that's exactly why the deal is attracting so much attention. Some banking experts believe that combining Visa's global payment network with BioCatch's advanced fraud detection capabilities could make financial system faster, smarter, and more secure. Banks could potentially identify scams more quickly, reduce fraud losses, and improve protection for millions of customers. But not everybody is celebrating though. Some analysts believe that the deal also could change the balance of power between banks and their technology providers. Today, many banks negotiate separately with payment, network, and fraud detection company. Now, if both services increasingly come under the same corporate umbrella, banks may have fewer independent vendors to choose from during future negotiations. As financial analyst Eric Grover, he points out that bundled service can certainly make operations more efficient. While managing one integrated provider may simplify technology and reduce administrative work, but convenience often comes with trade-off. The more dependent consumers become on a single provider, the less bargaining power they may have when contracts come up for renewal. There's another important point. The transaction is still expected to close by March 2027. Until then, regulatory approvals and legal reviews remain part of the process. Questions also continue around how financial institutions will share the fraud information and customer protection data under evolving regulatory framework. So while this acquisition promises stronger fraud protection, it also raises broader question about competition, market concentration, and the future relationship between banks and payment network. But for the customers, the biggest hope it is very, very simple. Safer banking, faster fraud detection, and better protection against increasingly sophisticated cyber crimes. And for the banking industry, this story is much more than cyber security. It is also about controlling next generation of digital finance.